Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, here is that Marx single reduction motor with the Lionel contactor mounted in an old 400 shell. And this is that 400 that I made the drawbar for out of a hacksaw blade, as you see. Excuse me. Anyway, like I said, it's a cold, gray, rainy day here. I needed some project, so I figured this would be a good way to spend some time. So I assembled this motor out of junk parts, and I didn't want to put a good contactor on it. I saved the contactors for rebuilding motors, obviously. Anyway, I had this Lionel contactor, so I ground it down, ground it thinner, and adapted it to fit this Marx motor. So in any case, I'm going to take this around, first trip around the rail as a working locomotive. So put it on the Marx Army train that I built. See how this goes. This will be the first trip around the rail as a locomotive. So it's on the track, Marx single reduction motor with a Lionel contactor. And as you see, it runs just absolutely perfectly. So, is it perfect? Nope, it sure isn't. The entire thing is made from junk. The thing is, it's running, and it's running just absolutely splendidly. Pulling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, pulling 10 litho cars. An old 400 shell with a drawbar made out of a hacksaw blade. So this is about as junky as you can get. And yet, here it is, up and running. It's actually running really well, as you can see. So it was a fun project, gave me something to do today. And best of all, of course, is the fact that it works. So a Marx single reduction motor made from parts with a Lionel main contactor. So I still haven't epoxied it yet. I've got to take that contactor back out, put a bead of epoxy down either side, tap it back into position, and it will be up and running. It'll be finished. So anyway, like I said, this is about as junky as you can get. But it worked. That's the neat thing about it. Now, I've never done this before, but since I had this contactor, I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot to see if I could modify it and use it on a Marx single reduction motor. And it worked. That's the neat thing about it. So, since I had it, I figured I'd go ahead and try it and see if I could get it to work. So I still got to pop this back out. Like I said, I'll put a bead of epoxy down either side, tap it back into position. I'll probably cut it off here to make it even with the rear of the side plate. And you can see the side plate was just absolutely tweaked. And someone had tried to pry the plate open to get that E unit out. And in doing that, they just absolutely butchered this motor. Anyway, it came with something that I bought. I have no idea what, but I thought it had been dropped, but I think it had just been butchered rather than someone actually physically dropping it. Anyway, it's up and running. It's far from perfect, but the neat thing about it, of course, is I have a new locomotive made completely out of junk. So, like I said, I just needed a project for today, and thought I would give this a try to see if it would work, and it does. As you can see, this actually works really well. Considering what it's made out of, it works surprisingly well. And I have the new whistle finished. I might do a follow-up video on the whistle itself. I've got it all epoxied together, so it's actually quite effective. It works. That cost $4. This, of course, is made completely out of junk, so it costs basically nothing. It was a fun project. It's too cold to go anywhere today, so I wanted something to do, and this was a real challenge. But even so, it took an hour, hour and a half, something like that, to get this assembled. Then I just put it in this old 400 shell, and it's up and running. Like I said, it's far from perfect, but it's running. That's the neat thing about it. It runs forward only, and it's made completely out of parts with a Lionel main contactor. So I gotta say it, don't overlook the junk. Didn't take long to make it. It was a lot of fun. This thing's gonna run the rest of my life, and I had the satisfaction of knowing that I built this thing completely out of parts. So, a fun project. Anyway, I just want to do a video to document it. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.